Hi everybody! What is teapot witchery? What exactly is my practice? Growing up, I've always felt comforted with a good cup of tea, be it boba or bubble tea in some places, a hot fresh pot at dinner or lunch, or even just brewing a cup of tea at home. I wanted to bring this kind of comfort to my practice and to my clients, people that I see for readings. I want them to be comforted and feel like they're being welcomed in by a friend. To give a name as to what my practice is, I would say it's Eclectic Paganism. But what is Eclectic Paganism? Well, it's a theological belief that does not follow the main world religions or the recognized pagan traditions. Instead, the practitioner draws from elements from various doctrines, methodologies, and styles that best suits and resonates with them. This is actually the first video in a multi-part series where I walk with you guys through the journey of eclectic paganism, what it means to me, and how it's been working for me. My hope is to provide some context and maybe a bit of a guideline through some potentially muddy waters. Where do I begin? The hardest part about this whole thing is just starting the journey. The important question to address right now is, what do you want out of your practice? Yes, you'll be working with the divine, but what does that look like? It doesn't have to be an exact picture. I highly recommend keeping a journal during this early period and having an almost daily diary entry or maybe a weekly journal entry of how would you like to understand the divine? How would you like to honor and communicate with them? This is going to change as you go about your journey, but it serves as a good foundation to start off with. Paganism has many traditions that have been passed down over the generations. It's a veritable buffet of practices that are completely and utterly unique to each other. How do you sample the buffet? We're lucky that we live in a time where such information is very easily accessed. You can get in touch with your local metaphysical store and chat with the proprietor. More often than not, they are a paragon of information for the different practices and can provide you even more information on how to get started. Another means of exploring different practices and seeing which one is and is not a good fit for you is obviously the internet and YouTube channels. If you have an idea, just go to YouTube, search it up. Heathen rituals, Celtic rituals, Hellenic rituals, or even histories of different practices. Maybe that's what really interests you. It's all about what works and what doesn't work. What feels right to you. Keep notes. They will definitely help you in narrowing down exactly what it is that can be incorporated into your practice and can serve as a springboard for that next step. If rituals are including social distancing, or in your part of the world they're allowing for rituals to happen, these are a great way to foray yourself into the different practices. But make sure that these are publicly open rituals, or they allow one of their own to invite somebody into their sacred space. Remember, this is just the beginning, and it takes a lot of trial and error before we can even begin to focus on the next important part, research. Well, that's the first video of this series. We'll see how many parts it ends up being. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video all the way through. I really appreciate it. Hey, if you want to hear more about when I post videos, you can click on subscribe and click on the notification bell. That way you'll be notified every single time I upload a video, hopefully a little bit more regularly. Until next time, this is Anne of the Waters, and if you're interested in booking a reading with me, check out my website at teapotwitchery.com.